Hello there, my name is Vic Vidge. I'm a consultant plastic surgeon. I'm head of department at University Hospital Birmingham, and I'm head of the Beauty Gurus, which is a cosmetic surgery company.
And there's been a lot of news about PIP implants. Do you want to just tell us briefly what the issue is with PIP implants?
PIP implants are implants that are made from a company in France, and the issue is straightforward and very simple. They submitted some designs to the French authorities with regard to the shell and the grade of silicone that was used inside. They then produced implants that did not use the silicone they specified in their designs. So if we take a good quality implant here, and here's a good quality breast implant, we can see it has a shell, and inside this there is gel. The shells that they make have a complication rate of rupture, which means they break, of about 10% within the first year. Which means that if you put 100 in, 10 will be ruptured within the first year. Now that's unforgivably high, that's immensely high. The second problem is that the gel inside is not medical grade gel, it is industrial grade gel. I believe it was made for mattresses, not for breast implants. So that's really the issue we have with them.
And are there any risks to patients if these implants rupture?
Lots of patients will ask the main question, can I get cancer from this? So let's put that one to bed. There is no evidence to suggest that this silicone causes breast cancer. There have been some suggestions that patients in France have had breast cancer and they had these implants. So let's look at that. There are 30,000 ladies in France who had these breast implants, and they found a few patients, I think it's now up to 20, who've had breast cancer. If you took 30,000 ladies who didn't have these implants, you would equally probably find 20 ladies who had breast cancer. So that means that that is not statistically different. What we must do, just to check, is that some studies have to be done to ensure that there is no statistical difference between those two groups.
And are there any other issues?
Well, the other risks that they may have are the non-cancer risks. So what can happen? Well, these implants go in, they rupture very readily indeed, and then you can get symptoms from the rupture. These include the breast swelling, these include pain and tenderness in the breast, these include lumps underneath the arms, these include changes in shapes in the breast or the breasts going hard. If any of these happen, patients really need to get that sorted, and what that invariably involves, I'm afraid, is that the implant needs to come out. If the implant's ruptured, the capsule must come out. And I make that quite specific because these implants were often put in by high street firms, in fact almost exclusively, not quite exclusively, but almost exclusively put in by high street firms, and they were put in because they were cheap, exceedingly cheap, a third the price at best, or at worst, of the normal breast implant. And I'm concerned that those same high street firms might say, we can do this for you, we can fix it, and then they'll just take these implants out, not do a proper capsulectomy where it's needed, and simply put another implant in, and then we will not have solved the problem correctly and not have got a good result. Moving on from that, I think the next question is, what happens if I'm asymptomatic? Do I need to worry about it? Well, I think if you're asymptomatic, you have two choices. Your first choice is, do I just live with this? It doesn't feel like there's a problem, it doesn't feel like they're ruptured, I've not got any pain, swelling, no lumps under the arm. Yes, you could probably say, I'll live with it. The only thing I'd say is that we are aware from French studies that 10% of these implants rupture in the first year. Now if we just suggested that the rupture rate remained, it means in 10 years they're all ruptured. It could mean it might take longer than 10 years for them to all rupture, or it could also mean that they're all ruptured within 5 years. We do not know as of yet. That is a decision for patients to make, because some of them may say, I'm fine, I'm happy, and some may just say, do you know, this is bound to rupture at some point. I may as well just get this implant out of me.
What should patients do who have PIP implants?
I mean, I think for those patients who have a PIP implant, we've already talked about their thought process. I mean, effectively, in the first instance, let's go through all of the implants. If you have a breast implant and you don't know what it is, you must contact your clinic or the hospital where the operation was done. All hospitals have to keep a log of every implant that goes into a patient in their theatre book. So you simply have to go back to the hospital, even if the clinic is shut down, everything else is shut down, go back to the hospital, If the surgeon's departed or passed away, go back to the hospital and they will be able to tell you what implant you had in. If it is not a PIP implant, relax, don't worry about it, get on with life as normal. If you do have a PIP implant, you now have to make a decision. Do I have symptoms? Do I not have symptoms? If you do have symptoms, you must go back to the doctor who put that in, go to your GP, or come and see us at the Beauty Gurus. We won't charge patients who've had PIP implants in to look at their breasts and make sure all is well. If you're symptomatic, that's what you must do. If you're asymptomatic, it's probably worth getting them checked anyway, just to be sure. And again, for that, pop back to the doctor, or if you can't find your doctor, you can't get to a Beauty Guru's doctor, go and see, your own GP and just have them checked out. If they're a problem, they probably need to come out and you probably need a capsulectomy. If they're not a problem, then it's up to you whether you have them removed or not.
Thank you.
I think we have a few other issues which are probably worth just throwing in. I think we have to remember that some of these implants, when PIP was shut down, got rid of, the capsules or the shells of the implant were sold to another company. And those implants were then reproduced, they had a new brand stuck on the back, and they were sold in Europe. As far as I'm aware, none were sold in England, and as far as I'm aware, the gel filling was not the same industrial grade gel. So we shouldn't have a problem from the gel, but we must remember they are the same PIP shells. At the moment we don't know what the rupture rate of those implants is, but it's something we need to keep an eye on.